No, Gandalf, I think I will pass. Yo guys, welcome on in. Kyrios here, and today we're going to talk about Izuna and probably touch on a little bit of Haruna as well. Now, Izuna is the newest character to come out in Blue Archive, especially with the new raid coming out, which is conveniently Mystic. Was that planned? Sure, it sure was. It sure was. But we're going to talk about her skills. We're going to talk about if you should pull for her and not. We're going to compare her stats to some of the other characters out there. And then give you my honest review of on using those Pyrozeni or those gems. But we have a lot of great characters on the way as well, just as a TLDR. So be very cautious, very cautious. One, that you need a full team of Mystic to go into that Mystic raid. You really don't. A lot of the best teams out there right now, and we'll talk about this in the video I have coming out tomorrow. A lot of the best teams don't consist of full Mystic teams. Now, you can do that. It helps you. But you can still sub in some piercing teams like Iori and a bunch of others that are going to help you out. Or Akane for defense break and a bunch of things. So be careful about pulling just because you think you need to pull. That being said, the other thing is that Haruna and a character that's coming out soon, Azusha, A-Z-U-S-A, I can never pronounce that, are leaps and bounds better than Izuna. So I'm going to say that right out the gate. Izuna, not the best character in the world, but let's go ahead and review. So if we're looking at Izuna's skills, we're going to see that she has a EX skill that allows you to move into a specific position, which, by the way, she has some of the most adorable animations. Like, she reminds me of a Naruto. Better. All right. Sorry, I said Naruto. Got to put the headband on. After moving to a specified location, she increases her attack speed by 24% for 30 seconds. Cool. Additional attack speed. That's always really good. Every 6 normal attacks, she deals damage equal to 440% of her normal attack against enemies in a circle attack. That's actually really good because she attacks really fast. Nothing I don't like about it. Passive skill increases critical damage rate by 14%. I'm actually not a big fan of this passive. Mainly because we can't get the crit to where we need to right now, and you need to get some allies that up crit rate. So I rather have seen this be crit rate up or just raw attack up. When using EX skill, increases attack power by 20% by 30 seconds. Also really good. Now looking at her equipment's pretty standard across the board. Glove, hairpin, watch. You're going to focus on gloves first, then watch, then hairpin. The fact that she's up in the mix and kind of attacking is the reason why they gave her more HP. And I don't know if I agree with the hairpin because she's pretty useless in PvP. So it would have been better to see a bag here, kind of put her as a hybrid role, right? If you're going to require her to jump in and take some hits because she's got a decent evasion rate, the bag would have went a lot further for a tanky DPS than the hairpin would, but that's what I would have done. Now look at the rest of her stats. Her attack's pretty low, and her healing and defense are pretty standard across the board. All right, so if we're looking at her stats here, and these are her level 75 stats at tier 3, you can see her HP is pretty far through the roof compared to most attackers. A decent amount of evasion, 1066. That starts to get close to the Tsubaki and Yuka styles of evasion, which are around 1400. Attack, nothing to really write home about. 1741 is not that great. It really isn't that great. Now I know that she attacks really fast, but really not that great. She gets that additional 38% or 20%. Crit rate, fine. Crit damage, fine, and stuff like that. Now, the reason I say that I'm not a big fan of her is that if we look at some of the other, even Tsubaki, right? And let's just put Tsubaki the 3-star because why not, right? Let's just compare those numbers. You can see that her attack for Tsubaki is almost at the same range, the base attack that is, not including, using the EX skill and all that. The base attack is almost the same as Izuna's. Tsubaki has better evasion, better HP, a little less crit rate, and everything else is pretty standard across the board. Now, I know these are two different roles. One's a tank, one's a frontliner. But when you're looking at characters and the damage that they could potentially do, you got to compare them to someone similar. Like, I can't compare Izuna to an Iori or to a Aru or anything like that, because that's not going to be fair, right? So now I know I said it's not going to be fair, but let's take a look at Izuna. Look at these stats side by side. Asuna's a 1-star. Even if we promote her to 3-star to kind of compare the stat numbers, right, at 75, Izuna, which I do not suggest you upgrade or really invest in, and she'll just be better than Izuna. And the fact that she's a middle instead of a frontliner will put her in a better position. At the end of the day, unfortunately, as you can see some of the numbers on the screen, now these aren't maxed out numbers and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I cannot suggest that you roll for Izuna. So Izuna's a no roll for me. Save those Pyro Zenny. There's a lot better characters coming. Like I said, there's Zusha coming. There's also there's other Mystic characters coming as well that are going to be able to fit that ball, especially when we get to the limited. So save those Pyro Zenny, and unless she's your character, go for it. But I can't justify it to anyone. Hey guys, I want to thank you for hanging out. Once again, like, subscribe, comment down below. I also want to point out that Haruna is another banner that is dropping. We'll do another video for her as well. But TLDR on that one. If you are going to pull anyone because you're hurting a Mystic, pull for Haruna. Haruna's going to be a way better investment. Now, you can farm for Haruna, so take what I say with a grain of salt a little bit. Check out that next video once I got it released. Take care, everyone, and have a great weekend, holidays, etc.
Oh,